Well, good morning to you. Hope everybody's all right. Today's Monday again. Weather out there's good, isn't it? It's not nice and dry at the moment. Had a bit of a wet day yesterday, but there we are. Was able to stay in and rest a while and do bits and pieces. Won't take long for February go to it. It's only a shorter month altogether. But there we are. Mornings are pulling out, evenings are pulling out, and everything's coming on lovely. I haven't got no birthday wishes today, so I'll get straight in and do a David Prowse. Lightning strikes twice. There's Dermot, Henry's right-hand man. Jan pointed down the lane. He's a nice old boy, but, truth to tell, he got more brawn than brain. He's what you might call gullible to the daftest seeds that's sawed, 'cause all he do is scratch his head and say, "Well, I'll be blawed." We was up there on the farm one day and Dermot's throat was bad. He had this awful hacking cough that was driving Henry mad. He said, "Dermot, you're as cheery as an undertaker's clerk." "I've tried all sorts," old Dermot said, "but nothing seems to work." "'Tis me bronchials," the doctor said. "Me chest is like a drum. I thought I told 'ee that's the reason why I come," said Henry. "We had much the same with a Guernsey cow of mine, and the thing the vet prescribed was stuff called Lightning 99. I believe I still got half a jug in a bottle in the barn. If he's good enough for livestock, boy, he won't do you no harm." "Well, I'll be blawed," said Dermot. "Do you think he'll do the trick? I expect they call it lightning 'cause he's powerful and quick." So Dermot got the bottle, chucked the cork upon the hay, and the smell was down a buffalo from 20 yards away. But he never seemed to notice as he raised him up to his lip, while ignoring Henry's warning that he only take a sip. Instead, he took a guzzle. You could hear him gurgle down. For a minute nothing happened, then his smile became a frown. Then his eyes began to water and his legs began to shake, and his cheeks was like two rainbows with a storm about to break. "Well, I'll be blowed," he whispered, and dashed headlong for the door, running 3 times round the hayrick till he couldn't run no more. Then he done a little pirouette as dainty as you wish, and dived straight in the horse's trough like a gannet after fish. "He'll be all right," said Henry, "once we drag him out through the trough. I think we've cured his bronchials. I never heard him cough. That Lightning 99 is good, but he slipped me mind somehow. Now I come to think about it, the same thing happened with a cow." This one's a quick one called Sunday Dinner. "Shall I tell you about the time Ethel Trevose invited us up to her house?" "Come after chapel," Ethel said. "We'll have a bit of croust." Well, anyone who knows Ethel will be aware she puts on a beautiful spread. You certainly won't leave her there hungry. Everyone will be well fed. The minister was invited, old Jimmy Bray and the Penhaligon sisters too. We wondered what to look forward to. Would it be Ethel's hearty stew? As we sang the last hymn at chapel, I don't think our thoughts were on the Lord. It was Ethel's kitchen that was on our minds, and what we had in store. Well, finally the service done, we were ready to go down her place. Our tumblers rumbling, we rushed for the door, almost forgetting the final grace. We entered Ethel's kitchen to the wonderful smell of roast, crispy roast, crispy roasters and handsome veg all lovingly prepared by our host. We sat on to the table, our mouths fairly watering at the smell from the oven range. No glass of wine partaken there, for Ethel was chapel. That would be strange. Ethel was sat telling us tales as she waited for the Yorkshires to cook, when all of a sudden her face turned green and she let out a mighty squawk. "Whatever's the matter?" the minister asked, as the rest of us looked on in shock. "I've forgotten Mabel," Ethel explained, with a fearful look at the clock. She leapt up with a yelp and ran to the kitchen with all of us in tow. Well, what we saw I'll never forget. That much I surely know. Ethel ran to the agger and opened the door to the warming oven below. Out stumbled the chicken, all dazed and confused. It was an incredible show. "My dear soul," Ethel explained, "I forgot she was there. Poor Mabel was looking some wished, and I thought warmth would add to her care." As Mabel continued to stumble around, recovering from her shocking ordeal, we all resumed our seats at the table. Mabel's sister, Gertie, was our Sunday meal. Thank you. Take care.